It's Philip Levine, former mayor of Miami Beach, a lifelong Democrat, joins us now. Is this the last chance for the Democratic Party?
I think it is for a long time, Leland. I think there's a 911. Clearly, there's no question. It's time to break the glass, okay? Because if things don't turn around, I don't know how much deeper red Florida can get. But remember something, it wasn't that it used to be a swing state, Leland. This was a blue state early on. And we've had, of course, many Democratic governors and Democratic senators. Like the last one, I think, was Senator Bill Nelson, who right now is running NASA. So this is it. Now's the time to move for the party.
Look, you've been talking about this. Seth Moulton's been talking about it. There have been a few voices, but largely any attempt to even have this conversation has been met with the same tactics that were used to put down any unorthodox or unaccepting demands by the elites, right? You know, if you didn't want a vaccine, you were anti-science. You didn't want to mask your kid, you were anti-science. You didn't like unlimited aid for Ukraine, well, then you're pro-Putin. These same tactics are being used against you now. What's your battle plan?
I think proof is in the pudding. I mean, it wasn't that half of America voted for Donald Trump. Over half of America voted for Donald Trump. And of course, the entire state of Florida did, including Miami-Dade County, that used to be Democratic. Here's the bottom line. The bottom line is, people, when I say people, I mean Republicans and the majority of Democrats, truly don't want to see Hamas on campus. They want to make sure the borders are controlled. They want to be able to walk around cities and feel safe, which means the police are empowered to professionally police. They want to make sure that their politicians they're electing in office are capitalists. They are not socialists, because this entire country was built on capitalism. So these varied things, including, of course, other areas, these are things that are paramount to getting elected. And I don't care if you're a Republican or you're a Democrat. And the Democratic Party has moved, unfortunately, in these areas, and it has to change. Now, you'll see all these Democrats now coming up saying, oh, I knew it was the case. We should have done this. We should have. You know what I call them, Leland? I call them hindsight heroes. You see them on the various networks now. Oh, there's a reason why we understand why, we shouldn't have a man and female sports. But it's a little bit like Johnny-come-lately. They're hindsight heroes. They should have been there before. Now's the time for the Democratic Party for a full reconstruction.
Okay, so to be fair to our viewers, that you've been saying this for a while, and you've been willing to come out and talk about it. I have to tell you, you almost sound a little bit more like a Republican, but there's a different way of looking at this, right? In 2020, 21, 22, if you didn't say you should defund the police, then you were racist. If you didn't say boys can be girls, then you were transphobic, on and on. Fine. But what Republicans are advocating, what Donald Trump won on, is not anything different than what America has always believed, right? Democrats have been trying to change the way America believes, and it hasn't worked. Do you see any willingness by members of your party, the leaders of your party, to come back to agreeing on what America is and what America believes, and then debating the policies of how we get there?
I think there is. And Leland, I think the bottom line is, if you're a Democrat, you need to stop talking about things that Americans are not interested in. You need to start talking about being an American. You need to start talking about patriotism. And if you're in the state of Florida, you need to start talking about the love of Florida. And I think that's what the Democratic Party needs to and must get back. Nothing is more sobering than an absolute knockout punch. And that's what we experienced in this election, was a knockout punch. So there's nowhere to go but up for the Democratic Party. And remember, in 1980, when Jimmy Carter got defeated, this country and the Democratic Party went through Dukakis and McGovern and Mondale, and they were way out in the desert until this hillbilly from Arkansas showed up by the name of Bill Clinton. And he showed the Democratic Party a way forward. And I believe that's what's going to happen next.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.